Okay, so welcome everybody. Glad you guys were all able to make it today. I'm going to be doing this solo today. Trudy, unfortunately, is not feeling well. So I know Trudy is such a great resource to have and is much better at answering questions than I am, but I will do my best to field any questions you have. We have allotted an hour for this meeting today. I don't think we're going to go that long. But I would love to have input from everyone. The games are coming up really quickly, and so we have a lot of stuff going on with them, and we're kind of just doing last minute, shuffling, organizing, all that fun stuff. And hopefully all of you are starting to get involved with what you're doing with your teams and all of that. So I'm just going to jump right in. So just to cover what we're going to go over today quickly in our agenda, we'll look at again the important dates that are coming up, and then we'll also cover information and just things that we're looking to promote. So hopefully everybody can help with promotion for the corporate games and getting information out for everybody. We're going to go over opening ceremonies. We're going to talk a little bit about our booth and our t-shirt parade. We'll talk a little bit about closing ceremonies, the information that we have, and then we'll also go over our food and blood drive information, and then we'll get some news about our volunteer signups, which finally we got the link for that, so those are open, which we're excited about. We'll go over committee members a little bit, give some time for sports coordinators, because we'd love to hear from everybody on what's going on with your teams, and then just some recommendations and some closing thoughts at the end here. So, okay. So as far as important dates, we've pretty much gone through this every time we've had our meetings. So hopefully you guys have got these down pretty well. Registration is closed. We are getting just a couple last minute registration participants signed up still. Pretty much the only trickles that we're getting in are some people that were listed to be on a team that hadn't registered yet. So I just finished a last couple of those and getting those people registered and signed up and on our rosters. But we're really closing that up pretty much this week. So if people aren't registered, this is pretty much it. So if you had somebody on your team that because people were listed to be put on teams that didn't register, there's still a couple out there. We're really going to close that off really quickly. So if there's a couple people out there that you're aware of, they just have a couple more days to get on there and make sure that they're registered for the games if they want to participate. Our schedules, the final schedules are going to be released July 17th. And then those final rosters will be entered into quick scores after that. And so that's part of the reason why we need that hard cutoff with registration, because we need to have those final rosters submitted and in and ready to go. I know when we sent out the last version of our rosters, there were some questions. Some of our team sizes are a little off. Some teams are big, some are not. We're still kind of adjusting those, so be patient with us. We're going to do the best we can to accommodate everybody. But we do have limits on things, and so if we have too many people on one team, they might get put on another team, or they might be added to the wait list or added for subs. So just so you're aware, we're doing the best we can to accommodate everybody, but we do have some tricky situations with some of the teams with how many people are registered to participate. So we'll do our best to be patient, but if you have questions about that, please send us emails. We'll do our best to answer those and accommodate everybody the best we can. We're still working on the Executive Challenge roster. We've got 3 executives that are participating right now. We're still looking for one more. So we're going to do our best to get that filled, hopefully this week. If we're not able to, then we'll just go with 3, but we're going to do the best we can. And so if you are aware of anybody that you think would be great for that position, would like to participate in it, or if any of you would fill that role, please let me know. We would love to fill that last spot if possible. And it's especially really works out well for anybody who's already participating in the games, because if they're already scheduled to be at some of the events, then it's not so hard for them just to basically sign in and you know, get the points that we get if they're in attendance for those events. So if you have questions about that or any input on that, please let me know. I'd love to have any feedback or any thoughts on that. Opening ceremonies, as we know, July 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. And it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll cover that more as we go along. And then closing ceremonies is going to be on September 9th from 6:30 to 7:30. So that's a little bit shorter. Still waiting for a lot of the information on that, but we'll go over that again too a little bit later on in the presentation. So if you want any more information you're looking for or updates, always go to the Quick Scores website. You know, their handbook's there. They have a lot of information. So if you need any information, always refer to the handbook and in the calendar and everything else. Okay. So as far as opening ceremonies details, so this is pretty much how the schedule is going to work out. From 6 to 7:30, they're going to have the wellness walk. And the walk is a 1K, and it's for families, pets, anybody who wants to participate. We do have a registration link. We would like people to register for it if possible, so we can kind of keep track of how many that are participating. There are awards for companies with the most walkers. So we'd like to get as many people involved as possible. A 1K is pretty simple, so that's a pretty easy thing to complete. So when you get there and you check in for the walk, they'll give you a ticket. And once you complete the walk, then you will turn the ticket in and it will be put in our bucket so that we get credit for everybody who walks. So that's how that will work. And then from 6 to 7:30, we're going to have the Company Booth Festival. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute and what we've got involved with the booth, which is going to be a lot of fun this year. And then from 7 to 7:30 will be the T-shirt parade. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more as we go as well. But there's all these different activities involved with the opening ceremonies. They're giving out points. And that's not the only reason why we want to participate. It's also going to be a fun event, and we just would like to get as many people involved as possible. So whatever you can do, promote out in your teams would be great. We would love to have as many people involved as possible and just make it a really fun event. Hopefully it won't be too hot. It's in the evening, so hopefully it won't be too bad. From 7:45 to 8 o'clock will be the awards presentation. And so they're going to be giving out awards for the wellness walk, for the booths, and for the T-shirt parade. So yeah, we'd love to win an award if possible. But everyone's welcome to attend, your coworkers, family, friends, furry friends. So yeah, we just want to encourage as much involvement as possible. Anybody have any questions about any of that and the timing of how that's going to work for opening ceremonies and the schedule? Okay. Oh, and just it's at the Holiday Lions Rec Center. So apparently they've had it there in the past and it worked out well. So it sounds like it'll be a good location to have it. So yeah, but they'll have a lot of fun activities there, DJ, the snow cone people and all of that. So it should be a lot of fun. Okay, I wanted to turn some time over to Kumbi, if she's on, to talk about the booth that we have set up this year. I don't know if Kumbi is on actually. So she's got some really fun ideas. I'll just kind of briefly touch on what I know that she's planning for the booth. We're going to have a lot of swag, and we're going to have drinks. We're going to have Italian ice. We're going to have Italian candy. So there's going to be a lot of fun things there at the booth. And then one of our activities, I know we're going to do spin art, which sounds like a lot of fun. And so, yeah, we're just going to have a lot of really fun, exciting things to do. So if you could share with your teams and in your locations all about, the activities going on for the booth, that would be great. Yeah, again, we just want to get as many people involved as possible. And as far as Coonbee with the booth, we can be there as early as 4 o'clock to help set up. If you're interested in helping Coonbee with the booth, if you want to reach out to her or me and let me know, just send me an email if you're interested in that at all. But we have an allotted time of 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. to set up for the booth before opening ceremonies start. So I know we have a couple other people volunteering. I'm planning on being there to help. So, but yeah, a couple more people would probably be great to help us get everything set up. So, all right. And then I don't know, do we have Elizabeth on today?
Yes, you do.
Oh,
I
great. Oh, there you
am,
are.
yes, I am really gonna hit this hard today. I'll admit I've been a little bit distracted and I'm gonna, yeah, hit this hard and am going to ask, will we know what volunteers are going to be heading up? I know you had the ones listed for a few different departments, but did we have like a full list now of everybody that's going to be participating in the walk itself? Do we know yet, or will we even know that?
We probably, well, okay, so the walk and the t-shirt parade are different. So, um, those participating in the t-shirt parade, we have a list. They can still sign up, so that list isn't final yet.
Okay,
But
so they can. Okay,
I will definitely send you our most updated list so that you're aware of everybody who's signed up to participate in the t-shirt
okay,
parade. But if anybody else is interested in participating and you haven't signed up, please sign up right away so that we have your information. But yeah, the wellness walk and the t-shirt parade are different. So they're two
perfect.
separate things. I know it's kind of confusing. The
Yes,
parade
but
and a walk, they're, yeah, two different
yes.
things. So,
So yes. So I will hit that hard today. Like I said, I've just been a slight bit distracted the last week. If some of y'all know me, just with things going on with the military, my daughter's deployed right now, so it's just been kind of a roller coaster the last week or so. So we'll definitely get on this and we'll give you guys an update. I may just shoot y'all out a message in our WebEx channel.
great. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Yeah,
I know
thank
it's
you guys.
it's a busy time for everybody and
Oh,
the best
yes.
with your daughter, definitely. That's a little stressful.
Yeah.
Thing. Well, I hope everything goes well with that. But yeah, I know it's hard. This is all extra stuff we do on top of our regular jobs. So we appreciate all the effort and help everybody puts into making this work. I know it's not an easy feat. And Jacine, sorry, did you have something to say? Please hop
I,
on
I
and
I do. I know we're supposed to be wearing our red corporate game shirts. If we have a partner coming, if they just wear a red shirt to walk with us, will that work? They're not Salt Lake County employees.
yeah, as far as the wellness walk, they don't have to have a t-shirt. So
Okay.
don't worry about that.
Okay. That's what I
They
needed
can
to know.
just
Thank you.
participate. Yeah.
Okay.
To be in the t-shirt parade, yes, those are for our participants. So that can only be our participants that are doing the t-shirt parade because they're going to wear the participant t-shirt, the red one that everybody hopefully is aware of. If you don't have one from last year, then you'll be given a new one this year. So that's what we will be wearing for the t-shirt parade. And yeah, so as far as the t-shirt parade, it's supposed to be pretty simple. I know Elizabeth talked about, we talked about maybe making a banner, and we also talked about maybe getting, teaming up and trying to encourage more participants that way with departments and things like that. So, yeah, we'll see what we can pull together. It's just supposed to be, it's a pretty simple thing though. It's just supposed to be a fun thing to do. But hopefully that makes sense. Is everybody clear on the t-shirt parade and then the wellness walk? So hopefully that makes sense for everybody. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay. Well, if there's any other questions on that, please chime in. I'd love to answer any questions I can possibly answer about that. Okay, otherwise we'll move along to the next thing here. So I just wanted to touch quickly on closing ceremonies. We don't have all the details yet for that. It is a shorter event. It's only about an hour long. It goes from 6:30 to 7:30. I know they were possibly thinking about having it at Wheeler Farms. We don't have confirmation on that as of yet, though. So we will let you know as soon as we know. But it's supposed to take place on September 9th. And basically the closing ceremonies, like I said, I haven't been to one before, but from what I understand, it's just basically all the awards are given out during closing ceremonies, and then they just have a slideshow of pictures that are from the corporate games. So, and then there's some light refreshments that are served. And then I think after the corporate games, depending on where they have it, we'll be doing our own little thing with Salt Lake County and our participants. But we'll have more information to come on all of that. So be looking for that. And one thing I did want to encourage, if, we'd like to get as many pictures as possible of people participating. So if you have pictures as we go along and you want to email them our way, we'd love to have pictures. If you take a couple of pictures of the events or the teams that you're at, we would love to have that. So there was just a question about, did any of the dates change for any of the events? And as of right now, I don't think so. But again, that final schedule comes out not until the 17th. So we won't know for sure what the final schedule is until the 17th, and that's released. So that's at the end of this week. From what I understand and what Dave Wood, and he's the one that's over corporate games, pretty much stated, is that the events and the locations won't change for the dates, basically. So, because things are locked in for the dates that they've been scheduled for. What can change is what divisions are participating in those events. So that does have some effect, because we participate in the A division. And so if A division gets changed at all, then the schedule that's been out, there is a chance that there could be some minor changes to that. But we just don't know until we have that final schedule that will be released at the end of the week. And we will definitely get that out to everybody as soon as it is available. So I know everybody would like to see what the final schedule is. That would be really helpful for all of us. So yeah, we will definitely get that out to everybody once it's available. Yeah, and Heather, that's a great idea. Yeah, we could get a QR code going for people to submit pictures. That's a great idea. Yeah, thanks for that. I will work on that for sure. Any other thoughts or questions before I move forward? Okay. Okay. Yeah, and do we have Cynthia? Cynthia, are you here? You can talk a little bit about our food drive and what we've got going on with that.
Yes. I'm here if anyone needs me to do pickups, or if you have any questions, you can send me a message. The food drive started 31st, no, the 30th of June, right? Yeah. It's going to August 28th. So I'm here if you need me. You can send me a WebEx message or email, and I'll pick up the food.
Awesome. Yeah, so yeah, at any of our sites that we have, you can make actual the physical donations. As far as monetary donations, we have a link here at the bottom of the page. If and the QR code, if you either way, you can scan that or use the link. to go directly to make a monetary donation. If you have not yet, if you wouldn't mind printing off a flyer and just posting it at your location, we just want to get as much of the word out about the food drive as possible, the food and blood drive. But yeah, so whatever we can do to promote these would be really helpful and great. So whatever you can do with your teams would be really appreciated. Does anybody have any questions about the food drive? Great. Thanks, Cynthia. Appreciate all your help with that. All right. And the next slide is about the blood drives. And so here's all the information about the blood drives coming up. These are the dates that we have for July and August. As you can see, we have tons of opportunities for people to go donate blood. So yeah, there should really be no reason why anybody can't get out there. We have places all over the valley. So yeah, whatever we can do to promote this as well. If you can print off flyers, and I don't know, is Tara on? Tara's available to.
I am. Yep,
awesome.
I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah. So today we have two. Oh, sorry. Today we have two different events. So at the Government Center and then also at the Draper Library. And so what I've been doing is just promoting this on having them send it out on eConnect or on the health department communication on a weekly basis. Have this printed around like you said. And promote it definitely. And I am just working on gathering the number of units that are donated per blood drive. I think we're already at 30. So with just the first drive, which is great. So yeah, get out there and donate and let me know if you have any questions.
Awesome, Tara. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I did actually see that promotion on the eConnect, which was great. Yeah, if wherever we can promote is really helpful. So yeah, we have 2 locations today. So how nice is that? And I think it was Jacine that said that she already donated today. So yay, awesome job. That's great. Anybody have any questions, any more questions about the blood drive at all? Yeah, but for the blood drive and the food drive, we have till August 28th to get all those donations complete. And we have to get all the documentation submitted on those by then. So yeah, get out and participate and encourage others to do as well. Okay, and now we're going to talk a little bit about volunteer signups. Yay, we finally got the link. It was a little delayed, but we finally got it. I think we have Marie on today, so she can talk to us a little bit more about that and what that looks like.
Thank you, Laura. Yes, we did finally get the link up and running. That's a good thing. And I also created a WebEx chat for the 2026 volunteers for the corporate games. That's open and operating. Please feel free to send out any questions through the chat. Also, it's just an opportunity to communicate with one another, share photos from the games, and so forth. And also, I sent out a brief intro last Friday or the Friday before I was out of the office. Just a little background information about me and some personal information as well. But looking forward to working with the volunteers, and please feel free to reach out with any questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Marie. Yeah, you've done a lot of work with that. I really appreciate everything that you've been doing for our volunteers. Yeah, and I clicked on the link today and looked at it, and it's really a nice sign up. You can see where the needs are really easily. So if you're curious, hop on there, and we'd like to get as many people volunteered as we can. Oh, yeah, and we can send out that link. I'll send out that link today. After the meeting, I'll send out slides and the recording and everything. And I will also include the volunteer link when I send that out today. So
Sounds good.
yeah, great. Thanks. Any other questions about volunteering? Okay, and I know our group does a great job of that, and we already had a lot of people signed up to volunteer. So That's awesome. You know, we appreciate all you guys do because a lot of this is on your own time. And Natalie, you have your hand up, please.
Yeah, I was just wondering, is there still a meeting then on the 21st, next Monday or Tuesday for that volunteer meeting? I just didn't see anything pop up on my calendar yet, and I didn't want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
You know, the meeting for the 21st is actually for the team captains.
Okay, well, I guess I'm one of those two.
You got too many meetings, too many
Yeah,
obligations.
right? Okay, never mind. So that'll pop up, I'm assuming, on the calendars, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit more as we go
Oh,
along.
okay.
You're great.
Sit back and listen some more.
Yeah. Yeah, Marie, did you have anything else to add to that?
I was noticing in the chat that Jacine asked if I could send my email over to her, and I will after this meeting. Thank you, Jacine.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, any other questions or anything about volunteer signups or anything else with volunteers? Okay, and just, you know, another thing with volunteers, it's not solely the reason why we do it, but we do earn points, and so it does help us, you know, and whoever has the most volunteers are given awards as well. So anyway, not reason why we volunteer, but it is a nice little bonus. Okay, so, you know, we pretty much know who our committee positions are. I did want to give just a few minutes for Brett and Allie to talk about team captains. They're our coordinators. And I know they, we talked just previously about our team meetings that is coming up on the 21st. We had a rally poll because I know that they were talking about figuring out what time worked out best for everybody on the 21st to attend that meeting. I know they had either 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And I just looked at the poll right before we started the meeting. It looked like maybe 1 o'clock was the best option, but is Brett or Allie, either one of you guys on to talk about that?
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay.
So yeah, 1 o'clock is what we're going to go with. We'll host it over here at the North Building of the Government Center, first floor, in the Recorder's Office conference room. We'll have all shirts ready for pickup. I'll send out an email today with the calendar invite and also asking if people are not able to attend that meeting where they would like to pick up their shirts so we make sure it goes to the right location. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then after the meeting, I'll send the detailed agenda that we went over to everyone, just in case someone didn't make it. They still have all the information.
Awesome. Thank you, Brett. Really appreciate that. Yeah. So 1 o'clock next week on the 21st for the team captains meeting. Yeah. And anybody who can attend, we'll make sure that they get their the information sent out, and then wherever they want their t-shirts delivered and all of that. Yeah. So that should be good. It's all coming together pretty quick. Let's see. I don't think we have anything else to cover more with the committee positions. Anybody have any other questions here before we go forward? Okay, any questions about the team captains meeting? Yeah, and I just wanted to kind of show, here's the list of our team captain rosters as we have it right now. So as you can see, we have quite a few people involved. We've got 2 slides here. I will be sending the slides out after. But yeah, so we've got quite a few team captains. So it's a lot of coordinating to be done. But yeah, we're excited to have everybody involved. You know, you guys as our coordinators and committee members and the team captains are really boots on the ground to make all this stuff work and get everybody out participating and, you know, getting everybody organized and making sure everybody's on the same page and communicating with each other. So we really appreciate your efforts with all of this. It's a monumental task for sure to get all this organized. So we couldn't do it without you. But if you guys have any questions about any of the sports coordinators, if you want to go over these lists, yeah. And okay, Susie, you just were asking if we do have the rule book. We do have the rule book. I will send that out. If you haven't gotten that link yet, I'll send that out with all the information today. So I'll send out an email today with the slides, with the recording, with the volunteer link, with the rule book as well. And one thing I did want to mention about the rule book. Well, we'll go over that in just a second when we get up to some recommendations that we have for team captains and things. Yeah, so here's our coordinators. You guys, if you'll just take a look at that as well. Hopefully it's pretty accurate. I know we've made a couple little adjustments here and there, but I think we're getting to the point where we're pretty set on who we have for everything. But yeah, if you have questions on that, please let me know. So just going over some recommendations for you guys and for you to pass on to your team captains. You know, we really hope that all of you are communicating. I wanted to give you guys all a few minutes here just to discuss some things that you're doing and share with the team. It's helpful if we can share with each other and get ideas with what everybody's doing and how you're getting your teams together. If you're doing practices, how those are going, all of that information. So if you guys have something to share here with our group, that would really be appreciated with what you're doing or what you're planning. Yeah, please jump in and share. Jamari?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
So I set up a event practice for cornhole. We have our first one on July 16th. We just picked a central park where everyone could meet. We got tons of volunteers that saying they would love to practice, and they're going to bring their own cornhole equipment, and I have mine. And so I'll have to update you on how that goes. But the first one's on the 16th, and then we're planning on doing them on some Saturdays, and Thursdays is the main one everyone could attend until the events start kicking in. So yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
Thank you. That is great to hear. Yes. That's what we want to hear, is that hopefully everybody's, having success communicating with your teams. That's the other thing that, I wanted to make sure that we have included all that information. As you can see, we have phone numbers here to create a group chat. We have emails, so you can send emails. If you want to create a WebEx chat with your teams as well, to communicate that way. I think, just as many options as we can. I know it can get a little obnoxious and redundant, but however best we can reach out to our team members and make sure we're communicating and on the same page as far as setting up practices and communicating before the events occur and confirming everybody who's going to be there. Because we need to make sure that we have enough participants for each event. And, we want to be prepared for no-shows and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, Elizabeth, please.
Real quick, I'm doing the 5K Cup team, but I'm coordinating with the 5K rec team, and we're just combining our WebEx chat into one, because like you said, it's not only giving everybody all the information in one place, because I know we are all probably get WebEx channel fatigue sometimes because we have so many, but also it kind of lets us be a little flexible sometimes as we're moving forward. If we learn early on that we need to make some adjustments or change, we are our alternates and our wait list people are all in those groups as well. So, I would recommend combining, if you could, just communicate a lot of things together between your rec and your cup teams, just because a lot of times a lot of the info is the same, and yeah, it just helps. At least us.
Yeah, thanks, Elizabeth. That's a great idea Tina, did you have something to add?
Just a question, and I joined late. I apologize. I had another meeting, but do we have, I'm on the rec bowling league for women. Do we have a date that we can practice over at the bowling alley, or do you have that information?
I don't have any information on as far as practices. I think you can reach out and see if you can schedule something.
Typically,
with-
last year, I know Trudy had one set up that we could bowl on between these hours as practice times. So that's why it was set up through you guys. That's why I was questioning it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know
Um,
Trudy's involved
Trudy-
a lot with that. Sorry. Emily,
Trudy,
did you have
that's
something?
okay. Trudy sets it up because she has her husband that works up at the Olympus Hills Bowling, and he's able to help her. But she was also over some of the teams, and so she just got everybody together. And I think she's thinking about doing that again this year, just getting everybody together, all the bowling participants, and seeing if they can meet up there.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know Trudy's really good about getting that scheduled with the bowling. So yeah, I would wait and see. Hopefully she'll be sending out some information about that coming up to the bowling team. So, but you know, if any of you are having, you know, if you're having struggles finding places to practice, or, you know, if you're looking for time in the gym or fields, or, you know, even library time, I know there's, you know, there's some people we could reach out to. So if you feel like you need some help with that, please reach out and let us know, and we'll see what we can do about trying to find you some space to practice in so that you're able to facilitate practices. So yeah, because it's really helpful if you guys can spend some time practicing and be prepared for the events when they come up. So if you have any questions about that, please let us know. Anything else anybody else is doing that they'd like to share with the team, or that you found has been helpful and working well with getting your teams together? Okay, we'll just chime in if you do. But yeah, we want to encourage practicing. Yeah, look for opportunities to reserve space. You know, make sure you're looking at those rosters when we have those coming out, and figuring out who our extra team members are, and who can make it. You know, from, you know, like I said, this is my first time doing this, so I'm not, you know, I'm learning as I go here, but from what I understand, there's a fair amount of people who can't make it last minute or have dropouts. And you know, even in the last week or so, we've had a couple dropouts. So it's great that we have backups, people on the wait list, people that have offered to sub. So we want to make sure that we utilize all those people so that we don't have to forfeit anything. We would, you know, we definitely want to avoid forfeits as much as possible. And yeah, you know, another important thing is, you know, I'm going to send out that rule book, but yeah, know the rules. And I did want to say this about rules, because we did send out the rule book link, I think, last time, but we'll send it out again today in case you missed it. But be familiar with what the rules are for each event. And I've had a couple people reach out to me for clarification on some of the rules. And unfortunately, I can't provide a lot of clarification. I pretty much take it up to Dave, who's over all of corporate games for everything. And I know he's a bit swamped. So the questions that have been referred to me about some of the clarifications on rules in the rule book, I've sent them his way. He hasn't gotten back with us on all of those. So if you don't hear back, we're doing our best to get information. Unfortunately, it may not even come until you're at the event, and you may have to just get some clarification once you're at the event. You know, we'll do everything we can to get clarification beforehand if you have questions, but I just know Dave is pretty swamped with all the stuff he's got going on for corporate games. So we'll do our best, but be patient, and we'll just have to do our best as far as rules go. And then we also wanted just to reiterate, we went over in the last meeting, we went over quite extensively that they have a new disciplinary council involved with corporate games. They really want to push that they really have zero tolerance. They have a zero tolerance policy. So they pretty much have the right to disqualify anybody or remove anybody from any event if there's a problem. So we just really want to encourage all of our participants to exercise good sportsmanship. We will get something, we'll do our best. We should be able to get something printed out as far as what that policy is and include that to send out with your team captains with their t-shirts and all of that we're giving out next week at the team captains meeting. But that's definitely something we want to emphasize. From what I understand in the past, there's not been a lot of problems, but there's been a few things that have gotten a little heated in the past. And that's to be expected. It's, these are sports and people get competitive and things can get a little heated. But we want to remember this is all in good fun. We're here to have fun. This is, not anything crazy or serious or, we want it to be fun for everybody. We want it to be an enjoyable experience, and we want to encourage, good teamsmen, good group dynamics and just good teamsmanship. So, yeah, let's see, good sportsmanship. So I can just basically read you off what they've basically told us as far as sportsmanship. And it says the corporate games shall have the power to disqualify, suspend, or remove any manager, coach, player, spectator, team, and or company that conducts themselves in an unsportsmanlike manner before, during, or after an event. Any striking or threatening of any spectator, official, or participant will result in a suspension of the individual from the corporate games and potentially other Salt Lake County sports. It will also disqualify the individual's team from the associated event. At the discretion of the coordinator, sponsor, or official, the team will be disqualified from corporate game participation and no refunds will be given. So they're pretty serious about it. I would think that would be pretty drastic if they were going to disqualify the whole team, but it's basically, they've got a lot of discretion here on what they can do. And that goes to just not the participants, but also the patrons and people who are spectating. So it says all participants, spectators, and other individuals present at any event will be held to the Salt Lake County Patron Standard of Conduct policy. And the policy is available at each event and is available on request. So, but that's pretty much the information we have as far as that goes. And like I said, we can get that printed off. We can send that out with your information and all the kits that we send out for the team captain so that everybody is aware of what that policy is. They do have something set up if you do have a grievance about something. So if you're upset during a game about something, if one of the participants, one of the team members is upset about something, maybe they feel like, a rule was violated or whatever it may be, there is a process that they've set up for grievances and protests. And I'll just read you real quick what they say on that. It says there will be an on-site representative that will be there to resolve grievances at the event. In most instances, the decision of the officials at the site will, representative's decision will be final. But if you do feel that your team would like to submit a formal grievance after, it can be done in writing along with a $20 fee, and it must be done by the next business day at 10 a.m. And that's submitted to the corporate games office. Protests are allowed only on matters of eligibility or breaches of other corporate game rules. You may not grieve a judgment call. Protests will be reviewed at the event coordinator and protest committee made up of administrative staff from Salt Lake County Sports Office and reviewed within 24 hours of the event. So, any questions on any of that? Yeah, and I don't think they have this included in the rule book. They actually just handed this out at the managers meeting we had last month. And so they didn't have it included in the handbook that you have the link to in Quick Scores or the rule book. Unfortunately, they should add it in there, but they do not. So we'll just make sure that we get a printout sent out so that you can give to the team captains, and that's available. And you guys can also get a copy of all of that. So we'll make sure that everybody has a copy so that you're aware of what the policy is there. So any other questions on that? All right. That's pretty much all I had today, guys. So thanks for being patient with me and appreciate all your input. So basically, yeah, so the next time, you know, we're going to have any kind of meeting as of right now is going to be July 21st from 1 to 2. And that's going to be for the team captains and the coordinators. So any questions on that, please let us know. Otherwise, we're excited. It's just getting really close. It's right around the corner. So if any questions, any input you have, please email, reach out. We'd love to hear from you. And again, we really appreciate all that you guys are doing to make this work. I know it's just, it's a lot of work, and we all do this on top of, you know, you do this on top of your normal jobs. And so I know it's a lot to ask of people, but we really appreciate your participation and all you do. So any questions, anything else anybody wants to offer before we close up today? Okay. Okay, so the responsibilities of the coordinators. So basically, thanks Shane for that. So I'll just go over real quick. So the responsibilities of the coordinators are basically to just make sure that your teams are intact and they're ready to go. You have your team captains and you're communicating with them. And so you're basically working hand in hand with your team captains and making sure that, you know, that you guys have got practices set up, that you've got your team set for the dates that your events are scheduled, that you're communicating with your team captains, and that they're communicating with their team members, and that, like I said, that you've got a full roster, that you got everybody needed for each event when they come around. So that's the main responsibility, is just making sure that you're facilitating practices, that you're communicating with your team, that you know, you got everybody scheduled and everybody ready to attend the events when they occur, and that you know, that everything's set for that. That's pretty much your responsibility. So, and knowing the rules and communicating that to your team captains and the team members, and making sure that they know what's expected and what the rules are for everything. So, okay, any other questions? Comments, input, anything? All right, well, awesome. Well, yeah, we didn't take quite an hour, so good. We get to cut a little bit early, but thanks again for all your participation. We'll be sending out a bunch of information after this meeting. I'll send you all the stuff that I mentioned earlier, and so you can refer back, but please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks, everybody.